And Cody is hanging out with some cool cowboys today. Giddy up. Giddy up, Codes. He's talking, I promise.
To tell you early because it goes quick. It goes quick. So we'll tell you all about that coming up, and maybe we'll get a little cowboy poetry.
Put your boots on, head to Loomis for a celebration about cowboys and Western tradition.
All right, let's get over to Cody and his Caravan out live, learning about this event that'll make you say yeehaw, baby.
That's right. That is right. I have to warn you, Bert. I'm gonna get real southern. I'm like the southern is coming out in me.
Southern?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's talk a little bit about this event. What's it called again?
It's called the Cowpoke Fall Gathering.
Okay, so how did this get started?
Well, I ran a feed store here in Loomis for a number of years, and I used to sell horse treaders. And the manufacturer was up in Caldwell, Idaho, and so I would drive up to Winnemucca and then turn north to Caldwell. And I saw this little sign about this big. It was blue and white, and it says, Cowboy Poetry, Elko, Nevada. And that's the granddaddy of them all. And I came back and I told my wife, we got to go to this. And every time I'd come back, and finally one year, she said, for our anniversary, I'm going to take you on a mystery trip. And so she said, wear your hat and your nice coat, and we went to Elko. And that was in January, and we really, really enjoyed it. So on the way back, we decided to start one here in Loomis. And so from February to November, we put it all together, and we had a little 75-seat showroom, Smithsville over here, and we sold it out for 2 nights, and it's been going ever since.
Going ever since, and that was 31 years ago.
31 years ago, right.
Okay, so what happens at this festival?
Well, we try to get some poets, some good poets that recite some of the old stuff that was recited on campfires in the old times. The cattle drives kind of started it right after the war, and they ran those cattle up north from Texas, and after they worked all day, they would sit around and tell stories. And so the cowboys decided to be able to tell these stories the same way. They would put it in rhyme, and so that's what they did. And a lot of them come from, the songs come from the singing to the cattle at night to keep them, you know. And then we have poets, and we have music, and we have storytellers. And we have a great time here. Anybody that comes here, buys a ticket and doesn't like it, I'll give them their money back.
And have you ever had to give money back? No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You were telling me a story about a grandpa that brought his granddaughter, and she was sitting in the back, and you could tell she wasn't into it.
Right. Well, that was about, you know, most of our crowd when we first started were senior citizens. You know, a lot of them lived over at Wrinkle Ranch. Any rate, this young girl was there, and I know her grandfather had brought her, you know. And I knew she wasn't interested. She was sitting there like this, scooted back in the chair. And then about 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the program, finally she was on the edge of her chair. So it's good entertainment for all ages.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a family show, and I think everybody really enjoys it.
We got the information at the bottom of the screen here. Coming up, we'll get some cowboy poetry. Cowboy poetry, that's coming up. Back to you guys in the studio.
I love that.
Okay.
Thank you, Code. And by the way, fantastic shirt, too. You look amazing. All right, a local nonprofit foundation is gearing up to celebrate the cowboy tradition through storytelling and much more.
Yeah, we're going to check in with our resident Western man, dressed to impress this morning, Cody Stark, out in Loomis. Good morning.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about cowboy poetry. So, Bruce, how did cowboy poetry get going?
Well, cowboy poetry was a way of telling stories on the cattle drives. At the end of the day, the guys had lots of things to talk about. They didn't have anything to write it down, so they would set these stories to rhymes, and they would entertain each other by topping each other with these stories.
That kind of sounds like what John Dapkovich and I do on Saturdays. We're watching football together. This is perfect. This is perfect. Okay, so you're going to do a little poem for us.
Yes, this is reincarnation. What is reincarnation? A cowboy asked a friend. Why, it's something that happens when your life has reached its end. They comb your hair and wash your neck and clean your fingernails, and they lay you in a padded box away from life's travails. Now this box in you goes in a hole that's been dug into the ground, and this here reincarnation starts once you're planted neath the mound. Now pretty soon the clods melt down along with the box and you who are inside, and then you're just beginning on your transformation ride. And then one day grass will grow upon rendered mound, until one day on your moldered grave a little flower is found. Then say by chance a horse should wander by and graze upon that flower that once was you and now has become your vegetative bower. Well, that posy that horse done ate along with the rest of his feed becomes fat and bone and muscle, essential to the steed. But some is consumed that he cannot use, and so finally passes on through. And then it lays there on the ground, this thing that once was you. And I seize it on the ground, and I wonder and I ponder at this object that I found. And it makes me think of reincarnation and life and death and such. And I come away concluding, old pal, you ain't changed that much.
I love it. I love it. This is so good. This is so good. So there's probably millions of these poems out there that have been passed through.
Endless. Yeah.
That is so good. Thank you so much for
Yes,
doing that.
you're welcome.
Cowboy poetry. I'm telling you, at this event. Christy, come here. Give them all the pertinent information because they got to get tickets now, right?
Got to get tickets now. Yeah, tickets have been on sale since October 1st. The show is November 6th, 7th, and 8th. On Thursday, the 6th, is our dinner show, and I think we only have about 20 seats left there. It's a good show. So it's a full sit-down dinner and then a full show. And then Friday night and Saturday night, we have about, I want to say we have about 30 tickets left each night, and so they're going really fast. It's a great show. It's about 40 minutes and then a break and then another 40 minutes. We've got a cash bar, silent auction. It's a really good time for the whole family.
Such a good time. And you guys raise a lot of money. Your dad didn't want to talk about it.
I know.
But let's talk about it.
Okay,
So he's
talk
over
about
there.
it?
Yeah,
Okay,
talk about
yeah.
it. You guys raise a lot of money doing it.
Mom and Dad have been doing this for 31 years, and my sister and I are now involved. And I'm just really proud of the fact that my parents have not taken a single penny from the foundation. Everything is a volunteer run. And we've raised almost $500,000 for charity. And I'm really, really proud of my parents and the legacy that they've left with this. It's really exciting.
That is lovely. That is lovely. Okay, she told you got to get your tickets now. So just go to the website. Is that
Just go to the website, cowpokefallgathering.com.
Okay, so we got some more cowboy poetry coming up. Back to you guys. I am totally into this. This could be my new thing, guys. I think we found it. Cody Cowboy Poetry.
Yep,
Well,
I like it.
Cody's a good cowboy name too, so
Yep.
it works. Thank you, Cody.
All right, well, you're invited to the celebration of cowboy culture.
Yeah, Cody is in Loomis this morning, ready to do more cowboy poems.
Let's hear it.
At the end of this live shot here, I will read a poem that I personally wrote myself. Okay, Bill, you host this thing.
Yes, I do. I'm the MC. This will be my second year.
Okay, I can't imagine, like, what's more difficult, wrangling calves or wrangling storytellers and trying to get them in and out of the stage fast enough?
Oh, the storytellers are all professionals. That's a simple job. But the hard part's keeping my mind wrangled in.
So do you do a little cowboy poetry too? When you're
I did. I started writing my own poetry a couple of years ago, and this will be my first year on stage. So I'm really
nice.
excited. The Braun family's been kind enough to allow me to have a little time on the program, so I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, well, could you give us a little snippet? Just a little snippet?
Sure.
Not to put any pressure on you, but you're on live television. Go ahead.
Well, you know, I'll try this one. Are you a real cowboy, she asked, as her eyes took in my boots and hat. She was expecting a yes or no answer, but I knew there was more to it than that. You see, in her eyes, boots and a hat were all that you needed to become that romantic figure she had in her mind. But my answer would come from as to whose vision would be used to determine how the word cowboy would be defined. Am I a cowboy because I can ride a broke horse or rope a calf or throw the hula hand? Those are all part of the deal, I suppose, but certainly don't make you a hand. No, I think I know what a real cowboy is, and there are too many holes in my resume. If I was to answer her truthfully, this is what I'd have to say. So you'll have to come to the show to hear what I would tell her.
Oh, a tease! I dig it! I love it! That's fantastic.
Yeah.
the West, the storytelling and stuff. I love this. I love this, man. This is great.
Yeah, when you grow up in it, it's just part of the culture and part of who you are. And of course, cowboys are always telling stories.
Yeah.
And then I draw from things. I raise dogs, and so I have dog poems. And my grandmother was a Texan, and I have a poem about my grandmother growing up in Texas. And it becomes very personal.
I love it. Okay, I'm gonna work on my poetry. Christy, come here real quick. Your tickets are flying. They're going fast.
Yes.
Going fast. What do people need to do to get
manning
them?
the phones. The phone calls are coming in. So November 6th, 7th, and 8th, we'd love to have you come out. Dinner show on Thursday, proper show Friday night and Saturday night.
Fantastic. Okay, is it time for me to do my poem?
Time for your poem.
I personally wrote this poem. I don't have some man holding a cue card in front of me. No, not at all. Okay, you guys ready? You ready? So come grab a seat and treat yourself to an evening that you'll long remember. Join us at the Cowpoke Fall Gathering at the historic Blue Goose in Loomis the second weekend of November.
All right.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Cody,
Yeah.
I was moved.
We actually have to run our own teleprompter at the station. If you could show up every day, that would be so good. So good. So good. Let's keep this culture going. I love it. I'm telling you, this is something else. It's something else. Come out to the show and then be a part of it. All right, back to you guys.
That was great, Cody. Thank you. All right, put on your boots and head out to Loomis for a celebration all about cowboys and Western tradition.
Cody's Caravan at Boot Scooted down there this morning to learn about an event that'll make you say yeehaw.
We've been talking about the Old West, cowboy poetry this morning. Why is it so important to keep this alive?
Well, it came from, of course, like I told you, I'm from the South, the panhandle of Florida. And in those days, when I was growing up, the only entertainment you had was stories. And in the afternoon, after you had your meal, you would come out on the porch in the summertime, and you had an uncle and you had a grandfather, and they all had stories.
Yeah.
And that was your entertainment. We didn't even have radios in those days. And so when I went up to Elko, I got that same feeling about these stories and the Western way of life, and I spent the rest of my life in the West. And so the tradition and the heritage of the cowboy appealed to me, and we started that poetry gathering over then.
It is all about storytelling.
It's
about
storytelling.
Yeah.
It's story. Today, most of our stories, the people listen to today, are the movies that you get on Netflix. The stories, television stories, but I like the written word, and I like the performance, live performance, and we've got a great lineup this year.
Like, give me some hints. Who's coming?
Well, we've got Dave Thamey, and he's a balladeer. He's the #1 balladeer, I think, going down the road today. And we got Bridget and Johnny Reedley, and they're a young couple, they're brother and sister. And they're from Utah, and she's a great fiddle player, a great singer, and she does a little poetry.
Oh, nice.
And we've got Bill Dale that's going to be our MC, and he's going to do a little poetry. And we've got Bruce that's going to do Bruce Renfrew that's going to do a little poetry also. Put the microphone over and ask her a question so I calm down, will you?
What was it like growing up with him as your dad?
Oh, that's a loaded question. That is a loaded question. So my dad's commitment to this community runs really deep. So when we came to town, he bought a feed store and ran the feed store for almost 30 years. I think it was about 30 years you ran the Cowpoke. And during that time, he became a volunteer firefighter, and then he was a fire chief. I remember the community days parades that we were in, all of the floats, supported the 4-H. My sister and I were both in 4-H. And so I think the gathering has grown out of a love of community for my dad and just wanting to give back to this community that gave us roots.
Yeah.
And that's what my dad is about. That's what it was like growing up with my dad. I was given roots here.
Oh, it's lovely. That's lovely. Okay, I want everybody to come to this.
Oh,
I want this packed, which I have nothing to do with it because it sells out fast anyway. So what do people need to do to get those last tickets?
So those final tickets you can get at the cowpokefallgathering.com. Actually, it's cowpokefallgathering.com. Tickets are available, and yeah, I think, what do we got? 20 tickets Friday night, 30 tickets Saturday night, and the dinner show is amazing. So if I could plug one thing, it's the dinner show. I really love the seated, plated dinner. It's gourmet, it's delicious food. And then just to have the entertainers here as well. The entertainers mix with the crowd. You get a kind of an intimate view of who the entertainers are, and you get to spend some time with them. So that's fun.
Some lovely stories. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate this. This has been a lot of fun. Come to this event.
Thanks for coming out.
All right, back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Code.